So what's up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is HoodwILL, and today I am going to be dissecting SeaNanners gameplay, much like Woody did for the Sandy Ravage match that you guys saw just posted previously. And it's actually on the same map, not the same game, but it is Strike. There are just minor differences in between this version and the Modern Warfare 2 version. And notice the opening route here. He doesn't go all the way up to the green car, but he does go towards the same direction and then, towards the edge of the map in typical SeaNanners fashion. But notice how he didn't go directly through the doorway there just in case people were aiming down the hallway. He made sure he was behind that blockade in case he needed to get cover. So he was able to sneak up behind them using his headset, hearing where the gunshots were coming from and looking at the radar. One thing you'll notice about SeaNanners is he goes prone a lot. And some of that is to drop shot, but it's also to, have a second to reload if you need to duck behind cover, or which he does right here. He ducks behind cover there and reloads his gun. But sneaking up on them from the side like this is, much better to do than just trying to engage the enemy head on. And I know Woody talked a lot about that in his gameplay dissection of Sandy Ravage, and there are some similarities here. I'm going to try and cover some other bases besides just the ones that Woody did in the last game. So right here, this was another situation where you could either go right and look over the wall here, which he does for a second and pulls off a kill or two, or go left down the alleyway over here. And this is another interesting point that I should make. Whenever you're confronted with a grenade like this, go prone and try and get some cover in between you and the grenade. He probably didn't know exactly where that grenade landed. I mean, it kind of looked like it went into those flower baskets behind him, but going prone is almost always the best maneuver that you can take when trying to avoid a grenade. So let's rewind and talk about that last kill. You'll see he drops the enemy into last stand, but instead of putting himself at risk, he ducks behind cover and switches to a secondary. This disorients the enemy and allows him to regroup with minimal chance of dying. And then here he can reload and continue on. So one thing that you'll see him do a lot is, go into cover, duck down, call in an airstrike or air support, reload the gun, and which he does right here, and then he goes right back to finding cover to flank the enemy and shoot them in the back. And gets this guy, but unfortunately doesn't expect this guy to be sneaking up on him with a knife and horrible aim. So here he respawns and immediately falls into his routine tactic of scanning the perimeter of the map. And this works for SeaNanners not only because of his low sensitivity, but because when you're along the edge of the map, you're always covered on at least one side of your body. And you can simply shoot inward, and keeping your sensitivity low while doing this helps keep your aim steadier, and the result is higher accuracy. I've actually recently lowered my sensitivity from 5 to 3, and have been practicing tracing the map, going from cover to cover in most of my recent matches, and it's been working out very well. So he respawns again and immediately advances to try and flank the enemy. Now, even though he's not immediately behind cover, looking at the UAV combined with, the location of his teammates gives him a general idea of where the enemies will be spawning in. TDM spawns are almost as predictable as domination. Also, the fact that he's using the red dot as opposed to the silencer helps him lure the enemies towards his gunfire, and then he can drop them efficiently with the sight. Sneaking up on them from the sides or from the back with unsuppressed gunfire like this will typically keep them guessing, and will, you can rack up some kills pretty quickly, especially if you have a teammate on the other side of their spawn doing the exact same thing as you. They'll continually be pretty disoriented. And you can see here he's attacking them from the other side of the spawn now. So now let's take a look at this next kill a bit more closely. He engages in a gunfight with this guy jumping out of the window, but instead of continuing head-on and putting himself at risk, he retreats, throws a flash on the side that he came from, and then surprises his opponent on the other side. The enemy thought he was going to be able to sneak up on him around the back of the container, but met the barrel of his gun instead. So here he gets a few more kills by luring in some more enemies with his gunfire and staying behind cover behind this container, but gets shot in the back while trying to sneak to the next spawn location. And speaking of sneaking up behind the enemy, guys, don't stay in one place, especially if you're going to stand in front of a window only facing in one direction in your own spawn, because this happens. And you die. There are a lot of revenge kills that go on in this game, and it's never good to just stay in one spot after you get a kill. So this next kill is a good example of why playing with a headset can really improve your game. You know, that guy that just ran up the stairs, his footsteps were probably really loud, and SeaNanners was able to hear him on the outside of the building, rushing around, coming up those stairs, and could anticipate him running around that corner, and he got the easy kill. Next, he switches up his position and runs around the building long enough to let this guy come back for a revenge kill, and then drops him at the window again. So aside from switching up your position, another thing that I hope you guys take away from this is the importance of UAV. You can see here that he and his teammates have the UAV up, and he's able to see where almost all of the opponents are. Pretty much through the whole match they have a UAV up, and this helps tremendously. I mean, SeaNanners, like we were talking about before, follows the perimeter of the map, ducks in and out of cover, just as you should, especially like right here. This is a really nice quad grenade, by the way. Boom. And I mean, even if he's not around the perimeter, having that UAV up and looking at your teammates' spawns can tell you exactly where on the map the enemy is, and you can do stuff like this. You can rush into their spawn, get a couple quick kills. Even if you had just died before, you'll be able to get those quick kills by drop shotting if you can, pulling out your secondary, and then you'll be able to put the UAV up for your teammates. So that's really important. I've been playing with some Hupiters lately that I met through sharing gamer tags, and we always talk about, you know, before the game, if it's a domination match, we're going to talk about where we want to spawn trap them, also who's running what kill streaks, emergency airdrop, UAV. These are really important things that you and your team need to discuss before you begin a match, and I hope that's one thing that you take away from this, besides just dancing around in and out of cover or strafing left and right when you get in a gunfight, dropping down into prone when you need to reload, making sure you're undercover, and there's that same guy in the window again. And this is fun. He jumps up in the window and shoots the guy in the back as he's running back towards his little safety zone window right here. So I hope you guys take this away too. Don't do that. Switch up your locations. So now that the match is coming to a close, I want to give a big thank you to Woody and to Sassman Jr. for all the hard work that they've done on the Hupit Gaming website and on this YouTube channel that you guys are watching. It's been really great. I've been able to find some teammates, and we can rec shop in the pubs, or you know, a couple of us have even talked about starting up a game battles team, and it's been really awesome. This is such a great tool that we can now use to find fellow gamers. So that's about it. Thanks again, guys. My name is HoodwILL. Go ahead and rate the video and subscribe to Hupit Gaming so you can stay updated on all the cool commentaries and videos coming out, and I'll see you guys later.